Miracle serves. Miracle serves.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired, yeah, you wouldn't like it, so goodbye.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is Monday, May the 27th, 2024, and today the topic is obedience. Happy Memorial Day. Yes, happy Memorial Day to all of those that lost their lives here in the U.S. of A. that served in the military. That is what Memorial Day is all about. I know we tend to have an extra day off and have cookouts and things of that nature, but obviously we know that this day represents a gruesome thing, right? A gruesome, horrific thing. People having to, lose their lives and fighting and things of that nature. So, this is the way that the U.S. of A. honors those individuals by Memorial Day. So I hope that people are taking the time to reflect on that today as well. It's kind of a rainy, dreary morning. So, I don't know if that kind of goes alongside with that part of the conversation, but just something to think about. I know later on today, it's a Monday, so your girl is scheduled to go out there to Mountain West Church, and they say they're going to have some grilled things available and whatnot. So,
and you hear that outside.
Yeah, we hear the thunder rolling and whatnot. I know hubby looked at the weather forecast and was saying that it should be clear around 4-ish. So we're going to see how all of that goes, but that's what's on my plan for today. I had a good weekend, you guys. Yeah, my weekend was just fine. I cannot complain. On Saturday, we took the little guy to soccer. I know you guys kind of...
And we ate.
We took the little guy to soccer. Then afterwards, we got some subs and came on home and ate lunch and things like that. And it's always nice when we get together as a little family and do things. And so, have you been enjoying soccer, NJ?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on bringing my ball.
Yeah. One of these old days, you never know, you might get your own soccer ball one of these old days. You excited about that?
There's also kind of same balls at the park and at the church.
Yeah.
They're kind of like riches. There's one in the thingy.
Okay. Well, we'll talk more about it in the after show.
Balls.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it in the after show. But yeah, I think NJ has been enjoying soccer. I know that my coworker, aka Coach Manning, was saying that he's doing really well for it to be his third time doing it and stuff like that. So we gonna see what the Lord do. But yeah, that was what Saturday looked like in a nutshell. It was raining on Saturday too. So like soon as we got done with soccer that morning, it pretty much started raining, and then we made our way back home. Like I said, we made a couple of stops on the way home and whatnot, and then came on back, ate our lunch, and just woosah the rest of the day. That's pretty much what Saturday looked like. Yesterday was Sunday, aka Splash Day over there at Mountain West. We had several kids get baptized in each of our gatherings, so to God be the glory for that. Their families actually got a chance to come into our room, and we did it in our room, so that was a nice touch. Ended up working all 3 gatherings instead of going to sit in the third one. I guess my presence was felt and needed as the host and whatnot for yesterday. I know the other thing that kind of was different than what we usually do is that the director over us, the kids director, came in and he taught the message in all 3 gatherings. And I know afterwards he, I guess, had a greater appreciation for the elementary crew. So to God be glory, man. You know what I mean? A lot of good things in the horizon and whatnot. After that, I mean, the church had a lot of different activities for the kids to do, water related activities. So I know NJ was out there having a ball, sliding down the water slides and playing with the different water sprayers and all that good stuff, getting into the little mini pools and everything. I tried to stay away from that area because I already knew they were like, Miss Miracle, and try to wet me up. So I kind of stayed to the side. They had watermelon. I think they had popsicles out there as well. I didn't get a chance to get one. That's the thing. Now that I'm working and don't get a chance to come out until after the whole day, it's like I only get like a piece of the experience. So I kind of missed that part. But at the same time, it is a blessing to be, on this other side as well. So yeah, man, we'll see. Also, technically, this week is Pastor Mo's birthday week, and so I know they, we're intentional about doing some different birthday celebratory things. So they had cupcakes yesterday. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to get one of them cupcakes yesterday. Maybe they'll have some today because usually we repeat experiences for Monday night as well. So we don't see, but yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have the cupcakes or not. But if they do, I'm gonna try to grab one today. And then they gave him gifts and whatnot as well, and things like that. So yeah, man, hopefully Pastor Mo felt the love for his upcoming birthday and everything like that. So yeah, that was pretty much my weekend after we, worked splash day, and even afterwards working and getting stuff up or whatever. Me and my little family came on home. We ate a little something, and that was pretty much it, man. Your girl was resting, woosah, the rest of the day. I woke up early this morning, man. I can't remember what time I woke up. I think it was like 5 something. And I made a note of it. I looked it up on, like I usually do. But there was something else that inspired this juice this morning. Now I know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times your girl might have been talking about obedience here on this channel, man. Like, obedience is a regular conversation here, especially on the juice. But I mean, hey, I felt led to write and talk about obedience again today. So hopefully it will resonate with whoever listens and everything like that. So let me tell you how I got to it. So I was on social media doing my little thing, just scrolling, right? And I saw this post and it asked the question like, what are you doing that or what did you do in the past that was life-changing for you that you wish you had done earlier or something like that is the way that the question was written. And what came into my heart and mind was obviously, again, the cultivation period. And during that particular time, I started to focus on building my relationship with Christ, right? And so that's the first thing that came into my heart and mind. And so I was thinking, I should write that, but then I'm like, I don't know, because I ain't got time to be debating with people about whether they believe in Jesus, and stuff like that, But then I decided to go ahead and be obedient. I was like, you know what, fine. And then I said, build. However I wrote it along the lines of like building my relationship with Christ for myself or something like that. Not long after I shared my answer, I'm scrolling, I'm moving on, doing other stuff, and lo and behold, I noticed that I was tagged. I was tagged in a response. And in the response, the lady said she had tagged me and another lady because I guess she had said something similar. So that was a word too that I was receiving now. But I'll tell you about that in a second. So she had tagged me and the other lady, and she said, what you all said really stood out to me because I am trying to rebuild my relationship with Christ right now too. So what advice would you have for me? And I'm like, wow. So first of all, I'm already thanking God that I was obedient. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Lord, okay. You know what I'm saying? Look, the obedience paid off, right? It encouraged and inspired this lady, right? Now, let me take the second part. The fact that she tagged somebody else in her response, because she and the other lady that she tagged, that lady commented, building my relationship with the Lord. So it was both of us that she had tagged. I specifically said Jesus. The other lady said the Lord. Now, what I received, right, as I saw that this morning was if I wasn't obedient, God already had a ram in the bush. You know what I'm saying? Through that other lady. If I wasn't obedient and did what I was supposed to do, then the other lady, and probably vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If the other lady didn't do it, it would have been me. Somebody was going to share with that lady to focus on Christ, right? Build her relationship with Christ. And so I'm like, wow. So that's 2 words already. You know what I'm saying? Being obedience, how it has the effect on someone else, and then how it again spoken to her life about what she currently it had going on. And then again, that word again about having the ram of the bush, right? So then I decided to go ahead and respond. I'm like, wow, to God be the glory. I'm glad to hear that this is resonating with you. And I was like, pretty much I told her what I do here on the Juice every day. I was like, look, the best advice I can give you is to get into the word for yourself. Take time every day, get into the word. I say I've been doing this since April 1st, 2020, April 1st, 2020. I've been trying to be intentional about doing that as well as sharing it. And, here you can see what I've been doing, X, Y, and Z. I tell her the website. I tell her to go to godsexandlove.com. So then I notice I'm getting tagged in another message. So she's talking to me at this point, right? And so at that point, she's pretty much asking me, am I on TikTok? And I told her, yeah. At first, I was going to be, like, again, the therapist, she helped me to see that I do too much explaining sometimes. And so I was getting ready to tell the lady, I was going to say, oh, but I'm not really on there that much, and all that type of stuff. But I was like, you know what? That ain't what she asked me. She asked me, am I on there? And I am on there. So I just gave her my information. I said, yep, Actress Miracle Sims. I'm on TikTok, right? And so, and then after that, she pretty much lets me know that she's following me now and stuff like that. And I said, well, hey, I hope the content blesses you, right? And so this is what has inspired this conversation today about obedience. Because again, you never know like what your obedience will lead to, right? I didn't know that by me letting her know that, hey, building my relationship with Christ was the best thing that I did, that I probably should have did earlier. You know what I'm saying? I answered her question and I told her what it was for me, knowing that it could come with backlash. Because when you say Jesus, you know what I'm saying, people get up in arms, right? So knowing it could come with backlash, not knowing what she would think, all that type of stuff, I decided to go ahead and be obedient anyway, right? And then in that moment, or right after, I see that again, it resonated with what she was currently going through. She's like, I'm working on doing this myself. She's asking for advice, and she went as far as to get, I guess, seek me out, seek out more content from yours truly. And I'm like, well, again, to God be the glory, because he knew all of this, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't know, right? He knew whether or not I was going to be obedient. Like I said, he had that ram in the bush for both me and the other lady, whether we were obedient or not. And if either one of us didn't say it, somebody was going to say it under her comment. Like that's what I truly, truly believe. Because, God wants, again, each and every one of us to be cultivating our relationship with him. And so with that being said, let me go ahead and give you guys some Bible, reiterating how important it is for obedience. All right. So let me see. The first verse that was standing out to me this morning was John 14:15. It says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. Listen, I mean, again, this one might be pulp, depending on where you are spiritually. Somehow, for some reason, we feel like we don't have to obey God and we still be good. And what I find that is, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, because again, if you don't obey God, then do you love him? Are you following him? Things of that nature. And so, yeah, just something to think about, y'all. Yeah, again, it's very plain and clear. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. 1 Peter 1:14 says, as obedient children, do not be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance. Whew. Man, isn't that so hard sometimes, right? The things that we are used to, right? I might be used to, like, for example, this morning, maybe I might have been used to getting in my head, letting the enemy steal my joy and the truth of what the Lord has done with me, to look at that type of post and be like, you know what, it ain't my responsibility, or you know what, I don't want to deal with backlash, or you know what, you know what I'm saying, but instead of that, focusing on, again, who God created me to be today, right? Old Miracle always probably would, again, pass that message up and moved on with my day, right? Been sitting here talking about a whole different type of juice today, right? But new me, right? The one that's trying my best to be obedient, right? When you get that inkling in your heart and mind to go ahead and do something, you know, we gotta be, I guess, what is the word? Like, not just considerate of those things, but I guess more wary of those things. Like again, I guess sometimes we brush off the still small voice. When we should be taking heed and listening to it, right? Again, whether you want to believe that's your conscience, Holy Spirit, however you want to look at it. Sometimes we get confused because we're thinking it's just maybe this is just me, this is a random thought. Oh, this, I have this random thought to help somebody, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or you have this random thought to respond to the comment, or all this different type of stuff, and we kind of brush these things off. But again, can you consider that this could be the Lord speaking to you? And I believe that you'll know based on what it's saying, right? If it's saying anything about speaking Christ and helping and love and that type of thing, then most likely it's probably the Lord. Now if speaking something else, talking about something to hurt somebody and stuff like that, then it might not be the Lord. Those are just some fruit, right? What would be the fruit of the result? Sure, yes, I could have faced backlash from someone that is an unbeliever or something like that. I probably could still face backlash because people that comment under her might not like that I said Jesus and say, oh, what do you say? Oh, I don't like what you said. Stuff like that. I mean, that is always possible because, again, there's all kinds of people in this world. But again, that should be expected as believers. We should know that, again, this is what being a believer comes with. This is the quote unquote persecution. This is the, I guess, the results and the reality of this fallen world. And so we shouldn't let those things deter us from being obedient. That's ultimately the juice with that, Let me give you guys another verse, y'all. It is Isaiah 1:19. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. Friends, that resonated with me this morning when I saw it. Again, obviously, what stood out to me the most in this verse is saying, if you are both willing and obedient. Some of us are willing, but we're not obedient. Some of us are obedient, but we're not willing. So, I mean, if we are both, it says we're going to eat the good of the land. And so, again, I don't know what seeds the Lord is sowing with the obedience that I took this morning, right? And I've shared with you guys plenty of times where I have not been obedient, right? Like I felt led to pray for people, and I feel like, or you know what I mean, or I felt led to do this or do that, and feel like, I don't know, or I've been so hesitant to do this or that has come into my heart and mind. So I have fallen short in this area as well. I'm not sitting here trying to act like I'm perfect in nothing. But I think, again, as we practice being obedient, as we practice, being consistent with our obedience, then I guess, I mean, like this word say, man, you're going to eat the fruit of the land. I mean, at the end of the day, it can only be a good thing versus a bad thing. And I guess, like I said, that's the juice, man. That is the juice this morning. I hope you guys are encouraged and inspired to be obedient. Let's go ahead and talk about the Bible verse of today, and that's Proverbs 12:25. It says, heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stop, but a good word maketh it glad. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. Hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you to those that was watching live and threw up the like signs and things of that nature. I'm glad that this conversation was resonating with you in any way. One thing I forgot to tell you guys that I did over the weekend, which you probably noticed, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know how close y'all be looking at your girl. But I ended up giving myself a manicure. It's an animal. My manicure is black and white. Got some like some gold, white, and black detailing with the nail gems that I have on my website now. And one of the things I got, like the Black History, this year's Black History design. I only used one of them, but you can see it's like a lady with the Afro puff. And I use my matte polish overlay. So we have different overlay polishes on the site as well. So I have matte. We got the glossy. I don't think it's called glossy. You guys can go look on my website and see what all I have. I use all of my stuff that is on my website. I use the ridge filling top coat. I use the obviously the nail polish strips. I use the nail gems, nail strengthener, and also the overlay, the matte overlay, or the matte. It's a polish. It's like a clear polish, but it's matte for matte. So that's why this design is looking kind of, got that matte look to it. The nail gems. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about the nail gems. I do like them. But I noticed that I need to take some extra precaution to secure them sometimes. And that's an honest review, but they are on the site and they make a nice addition. Like I really honestly was going to just keep it white and black. But hubby surprisingly was, I was like, what do you think of these? And he was like, oh, you can add some to them, da, 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 da. I actually had some on these as well. But these came off. It was like I had a little silver overlay that was on top, or nail gem and whatnot. But it has a cool glossy matte look because of the part that it came off. And so yeah, man, this is my current manicure for those that care. And yeah, I know I need to invest in more samples because ladies at the church have been asking, and I've been trying to like piece together samples from my my stash that whatever I have left. And so I need to buy some samples so I can be prepared for things like this. So anywho, so that's something on my to-do list. And yeah, man, I'm gonna be working on my other stuff too. There's more things to work on. So be praying for your girl, man. I feel like there's always something to invest in and work on. So I mean, but be on the lookout. Be on the lookout to see what your girl gonna be up to. But y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Monday and Memorial Day. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.